Good day everybody, and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV guide. Today we'll be learning all about Triple Triad, including special rules, common strategies for winning, and how to build strong card decks. So without further delay, let's get right into it. Triple Triad is a card battle minigame, and is part of the Gold Saucer's many attractions. To unlock it, simply speak to the Triple Triad Master in the card square, who will be more than happy to give you a handful of cards to get started. Each card has its own rarity level, indicating its relative strength, ranging from 1 star, or common, to 5 stars, the legendary tier. As you begin your collection, you will initially be limited to 1 2-star or higher card per deck. Once you have collected at least 30 cards, the limit is raised to 1 3-star or higher. And finally, once you have collected 60 cards, the limit is further raised to 1 4-star or higher. In addition, certain cards belong to special card types, such as the Beastmen, the Primals, the Scions, and the Garleans, as indicated by the special icon on the top right of their respective cards. To obtain additional cards, you may challenge NPCs to matches, participate in Triple Triad tournaments, complete dungeons and trials, and purchase them with MGP. And lastly, you must build your card decks before participating in Triple Triad matches. You may do this by navigating to card decks in the Gold Saucer menu. Triple Triad is played on a 3x3 grid, where players take turns placing cards on the board. When you place a card, if the number facing the opponent's card is greater than the number facing yours, you take over that card. Numbers on the sides of each card can range from 1 through to 9 and A, which technically functions as a 10. After all spaces have been filled, the player who controls most cards wins the match. But additional rules may be present, and they can significantly alter the way the game is played. Let's go over them one by one. All open and 3 open are both rules that make a certain amount of cards visible to all participants. This allows players to have a peek at each other's cards before they are placed. Swap, like the name implies, swaps 1 card from your deck with 1 from the opponent's deck. The cards swapped are chosen at random at the beginning of the match. Same is a powerful rule that adds a new condition to capturing cards. If the numbers of 2 or more cards are the same as the numbers on the adjacent sides of the card you place, you gain control of every matching card. Plus is another powerful rule that adds yet another card capturing mechanic. If the numbers of 2 or more cards have the same total when added to the numbers on the adjacent sides of the card you place, you gain control of every matching card. Both same and plus rules can also invoke the combo rule. If any cards are captured through either plus or same, these cards can further capture additional cards. A combo chain is extremely dangerous and perfectly capable of flipping an entire board. Sudden death will restart the match from turn 1 in case it ends in a draw. The only difference is that your deck will be replaced with the cards you had control of when the match ended. The Order and Chaos rules dictate what card you may play in each turn. Order forces you to play your cards in the same order they appear in your deck, and Chaos forces you to play your cards in a random order. Reverse, much like the name suggests, will reverse the basic condition for capturing cards. When this rule is in place, lower numbers will take control of cards with higher numbers instead. Fallen Ace is a rule that will cause A's to become capturable by 1s, adding a new weakness to the otherwise powerful epic and legendary cards. If both Fallen Ace and Reverse rules are in place, this effect is nullified. Ascension and Descension only affect cards that belong to a specific type, such as the Beastmen or the Scions. Once placed on a board, all numbers on the cards of the same type will increase by 1 in the case of Ascension, or decrease by 1 in the case of Descension. This effect applies to all eligible cards from both players. While the ultimate goal in Triple Triad is to capture as many of the opponent's cards as possible, it is equally important to prevent your cards from being taken away. To this end, it's important to look for opportunities to capture cards while hiding away the weaker sides of yours. Striking a good balance between capturing cards and protecting them will ultimately earn you the most victories. The special rules mentioned earlier will require you to change your strategy accordingly. When plus or same rules are in place, pay close attention to the opponent's cards to anticipate potential combos. When Fallen Ace is in play, be mindful of cards with A's and 1s on them. And for Ascension, consider using type-specific decks to take advantage of the strength they will gain over the course of the match. Which finally brings me to deck recommendations. As you expand your collection, it'll be necessary to build strong decks to face stronger opponents. For this purpose, I would recommend aiming for the following endgame decks. Firstly, a general purpose deck, comprised of Hilda, Lucia, Estinian, Isael, and any 5-star card of your choice. This is an extremely powerful deck, with each 3-star card having 2 high adjacent values and 2 low values that can easily be hidden near the board edges. Secondly, a Scion-type deck, used specifically for the Ascension rule. It includes Thancred, Papalimo, Y'shtola, Urianger, and Heavensward Y'shtola. Minfilia and Alphinaud are also excellent choices for the final slot. And finally, a reverse-specific deck, comprised of cards with low values for reverse capturing. It includes Gallicat, Deep Eye, Chocobo, Amalja, and Moogle. There are many more different types of decks, and you should experiment with what cards you have until you expand your collection. But keep at it, and you will eventually catch them all. And that concludes our series of guides involving the Gold Saucer. If you missed them, why not have a look at the previous guides, the introduction to the Gold Saucer gates, and farming MGP with minigames. But until then, this has been Grail, and I hope to see you next time.